What is going on, y'all? We are back for another episode of our Parlay Ole Bets Best Bets show. I'm your host, Andrew. I am the owner of Parlay Ole Bets, and we are doing a phenomenal job the last couple of weeks of giving out some free plays here right on the YouTube channel. So if you like what you're seeing, if you like the plays you're getting, I would love it if you could subscribe, help support the show a little bit more, or even just give us some feedback on what we're doing and what you're liking. We are 15-3 since we've started this show, and in the Discord, we are up over 15 units on the year so far. It is a little bit smaller of a slate today, so we have just two plays for you today, and we're going to hop into that now. And we're going to start with the Toronto Raptors. And one of the big things here is that Emmanuel Quickly was just listed as questionable. And for those of you who are new followers, I've been working on a tool with another buddy. He's doing most of the back end coding. I'm doing most of the UX and design. But we're working on a tool that can basically predict when there's going to be injured players playing or questionable players playing and when they won't play. And so when you look at this tool right here, it's called NBAinjury.com. You're not going to be able to access it yet because we haven't released passwords or anything and whatnot. But Emmanuel Quickly here, unlikely to play with back spasms. What this does is this actually takes into account Emmanuel Quickly's probability. So what has he done historically? What is the team's bias? So you can see here, Toronto typically add a day for recovery based on how they handled injuries in the past. Plus, what is the base recovery for this general issue that pops up based off of the historical status of all the back spasm injuries we've seen in the NBA. So based off this, we give him a play probability of 23%, which is essentially saying he's unlikely to play. And when I look at this, the first person you initially kind of want to look at is Jamal Sheed, or Jamal Shed, sorry. But I like it. I'm actually looking at Brandon Ingram here. I think Jamal Sheed's a little bit too high. I like kind of the latter opportunity of Brandon Ingram here. And so there's only been one game without Barrett and without Quickly, and that was against the Knicks in the playing game. And there are some things that we particularly targeted with that game. But when you look at assists, he had 14 potentials in this game, 6 total assists, 43 passes made. You can see here, obviously, it jumps up from his season average, 6.5. You see his passes jump up by 10. Now, one game sample size is really difficult to go off of, but let's just take a look at what it means without Barrett and Jakob Poeltl in the lineup. His potential assists jump up from 7.3 to 9.3. His passes jump up by 32.5 to 36.6. So we're seeing those opportunities rise a bit without those two in the lineup over a bigger sample size than what we've been looking at. And then if you look at NBA advanced stats on and off, this is what I like to see as well, is that these numbers are matching what I'm seeing within Props Madness. And if you like what I'm showing you with Props Madness, use code Andrew to get 25% off your first month. They do a phenomenal job there. Absolutely love the product. Let's take a look at without Emmanuel, without Poeltl. Let me see where he's at on here. And then without RJ on the court. All right, you can see now Brandon Ingram's assist percentage 17.18. Without these players in the lineup. Now, the things I try to look at, like for example, Jamel is already 32.99, Scotty Barnes is 22.78. When you take those three players off the court, you're going to see shortly what you can expect from an assist percentage. Now, again, this isn't always perfect. It's not tracking potentials, it's tracking actuals, but still gives you a nice read. So we see Jamal jump up a bit, up to 37. We see Scotty jump up a bit, but I like Brandon Ingram. That's the biggest overall change based off of historical. Brandon Ingram going up from that 17 to that 22. So that's kind of what I like to see when I'm looking at this. The other piece is the Pacers are currently allowing a ton of boards to small forwards. If you look at overall rebounds, we see that Brandon Ingram has been trending up the last couple of games. Specifically, let's look at the last 5. Let's see what his rebound chances are. Those have jumped up by 4. And then you factor in that Sandro may not play. They're going to be pretty light on some of the bigs. You look down here at Props Madness, some of the players that are similar to him and what they've gotten in boards. So my official play today for Brandon Ingram is going to be Brandon Ingram over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. I also laddered his assist in the Discord. So that's what I'm playing here. The second play that we're going to touch on today is going to be Keyshawn George over 12.5 points. Now, this one's a little bit of a feel, a little bit of data. But specifically what I want to look at here is Keyshawn George and what he looks like without CJ McCollum on the roster. And while his field goal attempts goes just slightly down, his points go down a little bit. There's only 2 game sample size, but his usage is what really intrigues me. It spikes up by 5.9%. So that to me is exciting when I'm looking at games without CJ McCollum. And then specifically, what are his shot attempts the last 2 games? So 13 shot attempts, 6 from 3, and then 10 shot attempts where he only hit 2. Now, what I like about this matchup as well is that how he handles the pick and roll ball handler situation. So looking at teams that are bottom half of the league defending the pick and roll ball handler, what you can see here is an increase in field goal attempts by 1.3, a slight increase in points, and I like, and also a slight increase in minutes, which that has nothing to do with the pick and roll ball handler, but just nice to see. Couple of things here. So you look at this: 1 for 9, 5 for 13, 3 for 11, 3 for 11, 2 for 6. So there's chance that we have a dud here, right? But what I like to see is those numbers be up in that 10, 11, 12 consistently, and not just one game where he's shooting 85 times or 60 times or whatever it might be. You're seeing consistently kind of the 9 through 13 range across here. So going up against a team that is one of the bottom half teams against pick and roll is something that I like to see here as well. You look at some of the hit rates, we see a high hit rate of players of his similar nature and status. Again, that pick and roll ball handler type of player, and who likes to shoot some of those threes. Those are the things that I want to see here. So, and I love taking players on a slight, regression here. He hasn't played for a couple of games, comes back, goes 6-13, hits his line. Next day goes 2 of 10, has slightly lower minutes. I expect a rebound performance here for Keyshawn George at over 12.5 points. That's what I got for you today. We will be back tomorrow to break down more NBA games. And then on Friday, we'll start talking about Unrivaled as well. Again, if you like this content, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube. Also, make sure to check out the link in the bio if you want access to the Discord to get more plays. We have plays dropping every day in a variety of sports. And Matt has just released his first golf plays for tomorrow, which is really exciting. Matt absolutely crushes it in golf. So that's what I got for you today. Have a fantastic Wednesday, y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone.